Nobody was taking seriously this problem. And now there is not another solution than to take it very much seriously. And this, the mental framework in which I think we have to work is first, I can summarize it in 3 yes and 3 no's. And the first no is no to forced displacement of Palestinians in and from Gaza. No forced displacement of Palestinian people out of Gaza. No territorial changes. No to the reoccupation by Israel or a safe haven for Hamas in Gaza. No to the dissociation of Gaza from the overall Palestinian issue. The solution for Gaza has to be embedded as part of the solution to the whole Palestinian problem. So, no dissociation of Gaza from the overall Palestinian issue. And now the yeses, the yes. The first yes is the return of the Palestinian Authority to Gaza. I am saying the Palestinian Authority. You are already there. You never left Gaza. You have been providing public services to the population with our support. You have the capacity to continue doing this job. Maybe you will need support from the international community, but the Palestinian Authority has to return to Gaza. This has increased the number of communities being forced out of their homes. Today there are more than 150 illegal outposts, which main purpose is to serve as a staging basis for the settlers. We have urged Israeli authorities to address this issue at the highest level to prevent an eruption of violence in the West Bank. Our support to the Palestinian Authority as the only representative of the Palestinian people, the only representative of the Palestinian people, is both political and financial. We are the biggest international donor for the Palestinian people, and we will continue being the biggest financial contribution to the Palestinian Authority working. Because this war has shown us that we cannot, the Palestinian issue, unresolved. However tragic it is now, and it is very tragic, we must seize the momentum to invest in peace and to work towards a solution of the conflict. We have to mobilize the international support for the political process to a two-state solution, a process that has been neglected for too long. The two-state solution is the only viable path to peace, and time has come to define concrete steps to take in order to implement it. Because we have been repeating for years, 30 years since Oslo agreements, two-state solution, without doing what is needed to implement that in practice. I am very glad to be here in Ramali and talk to you and to President Abbas and to your Foreign Minister Malki. But I would like to do that in different circumstances. It would be another moment, because we are witnessing a tragedy. The European Union is a friend of the Palestinian people, and when I'm saying a tragedy, I'm making reference to what's happening in Gaza, what has happened in Israel, and what is happening, the situation in the West Bank. In Gaza there are already 1,000 of civilian victims. About half of them are children. There is a severe shortage of food, water, electricity, fuel, everything. Yesterday I was briefed by the United Nations organizations working. The situation is critical from the point of view of the working of hospitals, with a collapse of the health systems and a grave lack of medicines and medical supplies. We can say that the 7th of October, the terrorist attack of the 7th of October, changed the paradigm of already fragile situation. On the 7th of October, following the Hamas attack, I said that Hamas has harmed the Palestinian people and the Palestinian cause. We at the European Union, since the start of the Israeli military campaign against Hamas, we have multiplied by 4 our humanitarian assistance to the people in Gaza to almost 100 million, and have increased our funding for UNRWA by another 10 million, bringing the funding over 90 million this year. But we know it's not enough. We know that humanitarian needs are immense, and to provide everything that more than 2 million people need is a gigantic effort. And the international community should be able to provide this assistance. Nothing can justify what Hamas did to the people they attack with brutality and taking hostages, women, children, elderly people, and provoking such an intense Israeli response. Every civilian life is deplorable when it's lost. We condemn Hamas for its terrorist attack in the strongest terms. We urge them to free the hostages and to give immediate access to them to the Red Cross or Red Crescent. I met with several of their relatives who described the difficult health condition of many of them. But the European Union has also firmly stressed that the way that Israel performed its right to defense matters. That Israel needs to respect international humanitarian law and the principle of proportionality. And I passed this message yesterday, face to face, in very clear terms, to the Israeli authorities with which I met. A horror doesn't justify another horror. And the best friends of Israel are the ones who ask them not to be driven by rage. The European Union, and now also the United Nations, through the last United Nations Security Council resolutions adopted yesterday, has demanded an immediate humanitarian pauses and more access to the humanitarian assistance, including water and fuel, that can reach the civilian in Gaza.